Hey Doc, I thought I'd just put a video together for you, like some of the stuff that you might miss in Bloodborne. Because there is actually quite a bit, to be honest. But I think I want to take a save where I don't. I'm starting a new game, but I'll be starting a new game max cycle, so any of the boss fights and shit like that shouldn't really matter. Um, so yeah, I'll just kind of go through it as I do the game. This should be the beginning of the game. So some of this you might have already done as well, but that's cool. First thing I'll do is talk to Yusefka, and I'll put on the subtitles as well. So she'll give me the blood vial. You don't need to use the blood vial. It's just an item for your inventory. You can, and you can pick up multiple ones. And to be honest, you don't even need to pick that one up because there's one near the end of the game. But still, you just get it easy enough there. Pretty sure you probably have that. I think I need to go back to the Hunter's Dream and just grab some weapons and stuff because otherwise I'm going to get flatlined. Yeah, this is where you would get the DLC item. After Vicar Amelia, there would be a little messenger that would pop up with the stone. But that's only if you have the actual DLC or the Game of the Year version. I don't have any weapons. Do I have my... I don't have any of that stuff equipped. That's okay. I'll just go for... Mishikage. Because I use a blood build usually. And I'm gonna go for Evelyn. Which is not there for some reason. I must already have it in the inventory. Yeah, I already have that equipped. Okay. So Shikage, Blood Gem Fortification, and I'm going to use the increased stamina costs ones. Don't worry about these. These are all like Chalice Dungeon things. For this, again, a lot of these are found in the Chalice Dungeons, but a lot of them can be found on the main level as well. Just the really good ones are kind of found through here. Yeah, so I want to use stuff that's going to mean that I'm not going to be taking like a shit ton of damage, really, just for this run, just to make it as easy as possible, because this is max game. So all types of physical reduction, with all types of damage reduction, physical damage reduction, and raises stamina. Are there any other ones that are decent here? To be honest, I'm just going to go for that. As much damage reduction as possible. Don't need any of this other stuff. And I think that one's usually the best one. Stamina recovery, speed up. Yeah. I'm going to put on my armor as well, which will protect me from taking a shit ton of damage, which I believe is church attire. And that will be harrowed stuff. This just means I'm not going to get wiped by bosses while I'm going through this stuff. As I say, some of this you might have already done. Don't worry about it if you have. And to be honest, you haven't really messed up too much of the story, I would say. There's certain NPCs you won't be able to save now because you can't send them to Yusefka's location. But what you need to do in the original game is like speak to her at a few points in the early story. I'm going to try to stay away from a lot of spoilers and stuff like that, story things, because, you know, it's fun to kind of discover yourself. But Bloodborne does have a lot of things where it doesn't tell you, dude. Doesn't outright tell you where to go and what to do and things like that. Anyway, just gonna run past that guy. I'm gonna head up here. I'm gonna skip all of like the optional bosses, but I am gonna like show you where the areas actually are and if there's anything of worth. There's a guy here. I'm gonna talk to this guy. This is Gilbert. He'll just direct you. We're gonna pop back to him in a little bit. It gives us a chance to show you a couple of cool shortcuts and things that you might not have seen. Like this, you can drop down here. And again, one of the things about Bloodborne early, really most of the game, that is not like the other Souls games. You don't really want to waste your time fighting a lot of these guys. I mean, you can get echoes and stuff, but generally, especially in the start of Yharnam area, you really don't want to be fighting things because they'll just absolutely smash you. By the way, I do need to put on a compressor because the game audio is going to be too loud. My fault. So if you couldn't hear me through any of this, you should be able to now. Yeah, there we go. That should be good. Yeah, sorry, I forgot to turn that on. I don't usually use the compressor on this recording setup. Again, it's mostly Yharnam at the very beginning. Mostly Yharnam that has a lot of things to miss. Here's a shortcut that you might not have noticed. You destroy these, and you can just drop down here. So what I tend to do in runs is I'll just take this path, because up there is just kind of a dead end anyway. That just leads you to Cleric Beast. But this will open up your shortcut to get to Gascoigne or Cleric Beast if you wanted. So yeah, what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and like patch you up to Rom, I would say. Because once you beat Rom, everything's going to change. And like a lot of the quest lines are going to lock. Beauty of these games is though, you can always do it on another run. So even if you miss this stuff and you do want to play a Bloodborne again, because it is quite replayable. You know for next time. This is the door with the old lady. We can't do anything with her yet. She's asking for safe places. Well, we don't know any safe places, so we can't tell her anything yet. But we will soon. You've seen this part as well, and you knew that you can cut those little guys down and get some weapons. There's two of them. There's one over there, and there's one on the side. Where you get the soul cleaver or soul spear. Can't remember which one. Anyway. Talk to her. You don't need to talk to Eileen because she will show up soon anyway. She will show up somewhere else. But just for sake, that's where you speak to Eileen. Drop down here. I'm not going to do all that stuff down here because there's no need. You can go around here as well, which is nice. So you don't have to go all the way around. I think this is one of the shortcuts. This should shortcut to the little girl who you'll need to get back to. One of the things early on that's easy to do is just not like know where certain things are, because for your first playthrough it is quite a big game. It does throw quite a lot at you. He's probably going to hit me before I go up this ladder, but it'll be fine. Closed by a device, so I'm just gonna open that up. She wants us to look for the dead lady, so we're gonna do that. And she gives us that tiny music box. Something you might not have noticed in that fight as well you can actually play that tiny music box. And I get a second here where I can do it without getting mashed up by the enemies. In the inventory, switch to tiny music box, and then press. Is it triangle? Nope. I always do that. That's fine. I needed to heal anyway. Plays a little jingle, so that can actually be used in the Gascoigne fight, and he'll kind of hold his head and get stunned, and then you can attack him 3 times. But as soon as he turns into beast form, it doesn't work anymore. Pig down there, which will come now. For now, I'm just opening up all the shortcuts. Because most of the people that, pretty much everybody, everything we've interacted with in Yharnam at this point, we can't actually do anything with. We need to get to our next stage. And as long as you don't beat Rom, you can still do all this stuff. The only thing that you can't do now is do a lot of Yusefka's clinic stuff because you've killed her. Right, yeah, first boss. Also, you can see that my gun is doing so much. Oh, this is on new game. This is on a new game cycle as well, I think. Because I'm doing like ridiculous amounts of damage. Yeah, that's because my blood tinge is 99 and I'm using the Evelyn, which scales with blood tinge, so I just blow everything away with my gun. I think this might have been the run that I used when I was doing my first person run. It's kind of fun. Anyway. Yeah, this is where I'm going to be able to show off a couple of things. Okay, that's good. Then that means I can just kind of like smash the entire game, and I'm not like going to be dicking around with the bosses quite a lot. I'll just kind of destroy them, which I would do anyway, to be honest, because I'm really good at the game. Nah, I just. Yeah, that should actually be like a tool or something. You would get that. You wouldn't get a Kin Cold Blood 12, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, talk to them. Also, you want to try and just keep speaking to them until their dialogue exhausts. I should have probably said that in the Eileen thing because she gives you the gesture, which is shh, I think. But you did that anyway, so I wouldn't worry about it. Actually, that King Coldblood will actually help me right now because I need it. Oh, this gives me a chance to show a couple of things that you might have missed in this area. Before I do that, I want to buy the Hunter Chief emblem, which you've already done. I already bought it. I've already bought it. Yeah, I've already got it. Okay, cool. Yeah, so couple of things you might not have noticed in here. Obviously, you've got the messenger bath. If you beat like a significant hunter or something, or if you kill one, or if you get a badge that's actually dropped, all the items go in that messenger bath down there, but certain like outfits will go in here, which you can buy. So you can see there's a bunch here. You'll also start getting like shards, chunks, rocks. Now, these babies tend to be quite expensive, and they will unlock after certain bosses. But generally, if you're looking to update a weapon, you'll find chunks in later levels. Chunks are the hardest things to find. Now, this messenger bath's kind of cool. You might not have noticed this. You might not even really use it, which is fine. But you can like put little outfits on them and stuff. So if you wanted to give them a top hat, you can do that. You'll find certain items in the game where you can kind of dress them up, which is kind of cool. But yeah, you might not even notice this. Sometimes if you see German disappear, German can be down here, and it's very much worth like kind of going up to him. I don't think you have to talk to him, but he'll be sleeping. But he'll have a little bit of dialogue. Same thing with the doll. The doll will sometimes move to this specific grave, and the reason she'll do that is if you kill certain bosses or enemies in the game, the doll is actually tied to them. We're also going to get some items for the doll. First thing we want to do is go back to first floor sick room. Because we've talked to one of the guy. He's said send them to the cathedral ward. This is the second area where we can send people to. Again, too late for you to do this, but for future runs, it's worth knowing. And the keen eye or ear will notice that her voice is different. She's got a different voice actress. That's because this character's an imposter. Anyway, she'll say send them over here. And that's it. Oh, I forgot to get the I don't think I popped the lantern in the graveyard either. So I might have to go back to the cathedral ward. Yep. I didn't pop that. That's fine. We'll just go down this way. Lanterns are quite easy to miss in this game as well. I don't think they're like bonfires in Dark Souls. They're a lot easier to kind of miss completely. Yeah, so I want to drop down here. This is actually Gascoigne's wife. But he killed her in his madness, which kind of probably started the whole thing of him turning into a beast. Red Jeweled Brooch. You can give that little girl, but there's absolutely no point in doing it, and you'll see why. You use this, because it gives you the gem, which is pretty good for early game, but otherwise is kind of useless, not gonna lie. Done that. I could go backwards. Should I go backwards, or... I'll go backwards rather than hit the thing again, because there's two characters that we need to speak to. I think it's two overall, yeah. We're not going to go see that pig yet. I'm gonna take that left, actually. I'm gonna speak to the old lady first. So remember, there was an old lady that was next to the dogs that she was like, I know all your tricks. She's one of them that you can save. That's what we're gonna do. As I say, I won't tell you a lot like how the storylines of them end, in case you want you don't want spoilers for that and stuff. You want to figure it out yourself. It's all good, but I'll just kind of show you how to actually get them and how to unlock things. As I say, there's so many things you'll just not notice in these games. It just doesn't spell anything out for you, which I kind of like, to be honest. Anyway, dog's gone. So I can send her two locations. I'm going to send her to Odin's Chapel. Now, you might think, like, okay, well, if I send her to Yusefka's clinic, what would happen there? You don't want to hear this. I'll talk for, like, 10 seconds. If you send them to Yusefka's clinic, they get, like, experimented on and turn into those little blue alien things that you might have came across, and then you'll get their item. But otherwise, yeah, you need to send them to the chapel if you want them actually saved. But I think there's like actually a specific character which I'll go into where you might actually be recommended to send her to the clinic as opposed to the chapel. But that depends on whether or not... I think this is the one character that will give you... sorry. That will give you 2 different items depending on which way you go. Also, I should probably point out, I think you have this anyway, but the torch is so good. You can use this hand lantern that I'm using, which lights up the area and it frees up the torch slot. But honestly, it's kind of trash because you have to just keep putting it on when you load level. So I just use a torch. It's just easier. And I just switch between it if I'm in dark areas, because this game can get quite dark. It's really helpful to have a torch. Also, there's certain characters that you can knock on, like that door over there. You'll see, like, it's always worth checking doors and windows, but a lot of them are just, like, flavor NPCs as opposed to, you know, ones that you can actually rescue. So because we don't have the brooch, we're going to say to this girl that we haven't found her mother, which is a lie. But because... there's because we've opened up where to send them, she's like, oh well, can I go somewhere? Again, you can send her Yosefka's clinic or Odin Chapel. I'm going to send her to Odin's Chapel. You can send her to Yosefka's clinic as well. But yeah, notice also she says mum and granddad there. She mentions her granddad, which is going to come up soon. Right, so we've sent her there. I'm thinking that's everything we need to do in this area. Don't think there's anything else we need to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go this way, because this is the way the girl would be going storyline wise. I don't know how she gets past that massive like troll, but we'll ignore that. Imagine she just sneaks past or something. She comes down this way. Gets past all these dudes. I mean, she's probably a little girl, so she could probably just sneak past them, you know. I mean, I say she's probably a little girl. She definitely is. I mean, not really, because she's a video game character. She's not actually. She's just designed, but I digress anyway. A little bit of flavor comedy for you there. A bit of surrealism. I know you like that stuff. Anyway, you're going to come down here. Because I don't think this event's going to pop yet. It might. Not sure. But just in case it doesn't, I'm going to exit the game. I'm going to load the game. And I'm going to go down here. Should be walking actually, because this it's already spotted us. That's fine. Nice and easy. We're going to kill our pig. And we're going to find an item. Red messenger ribbon. Red ribbon that messengers are oddly fond of. The thick, pungent red was drawn from the organs of some unfortunate victim. A strange choice indeed, but perhaps for the messengers, wearing accessory constitutes a form of mourning. So you can kind of figure out what happened there, right? Anyway, that is this area done. And now we can move on to the next area. We've done everything that we need to do in main Yharnam. I'm not going to go down to Old Yharnam because A, you've done that. B, there's not really any NPCs except Jura, and C, you already know to like actually speak to Jura, you need to come in from the back way. You would think it would make sense that you could just go to the place where you fight Dark Beast Paul and then work backwards, but Jur still aggroes you if you go that way. He only talks to you if you beat Dark Beast Paul and go through that door. Otherwise, yeah, he won't speak to you. But he's the only piece of, like, he's the only character that's really there. There's nobody else there to my recollection. But it is one of my favourite shortcuts once you beat Dark Beast Paul. I imagine this video should probably clock in at about an hour or two. There she is. There's the old lady. I'm not going to speak to her because, you know, I'm going to leave that for you to kind of explore, but that's how we get her. I could mention going down that route also. There's like the winding staircase down, and the door that you'll come across, which you can't open, is the opposite side of the where you fight Cleric Beast. But again, doesn't really matter, and I'm pretty sure I've told you that anyway. Right, this is the main gate, which you can only open with the Hunter Chief emblem. So the characters I can speak. Actually, you could. I should have shown you Lawrence next to the church at Old Yarnham, but you know he's there already, and even if you don't speak to him there, he's gonna show up somewhere. I'm also going the wrong way here. I'm just opening the shortcut first, but that's fine. Actually, we'll do Eileen first. She can be quite easy to miss. I don't know if she'll have moved at this point in your game as well. I don't think she will have. There we go. I'm completely the wrong way. I'm messed up. Oh, also, I don't know if you went down that path, but I'll show that to you as well, actually. Kidnapper's not there yet. Eileen's here. Yeah, I might actually need to kill Dark Beast Paul so I can open that door. Not Dark Beast, Bloodstarved Beast, so I might actually have to go do that. But before we do, what I'll do is I'll head to Odin Chapel, because she's just said don't go to the tomb underneath Odin Chapel. So we're going to obviously go there because it's Bloodborne, right? And we're just going to stand here and be like, hey, what's going on over here? What's going on? What's happening? Also, notice all the bodies. And then this guy rocks up. Some theorize this is the granddad. Some people think he's like a partner of Gascoigne. But I actually think he's Gascoigne's father. I think he's the granddad the girl was referencing. Yeah, I just wanted Eileen to show up. She can die here, but she probably won't because she's pretty strong. Well, I'm just going to smash him to pieces because I do so much damage. And he should drop a badge. But I think I already have that. And then Eileen's going to speak to us. She might give you something else there. That's that done. Yeah, let's do Old Yarnham. I'll quickly run through that just so I can cross off the next area. Because I don't think this door opens unless you beat Bloodstarved Beast, and it allows me to show off Alfred. His name is Alfred. I think I called him Ludwig or Lawrence, but he's neither of those. You'll meet Ludwig and Lawrence, don't worry about that if you play the DLC. Oh boy, you'll meet them. Yeah, you'll meet them, alright. Anyway, gonna run past this guy. Also, it is really strange that I kind of do play Bloodborne differently to anybody else. Not like this is some sort of flex, but like, yeah, I have my like thumb on the run button so I can always run, but I actually use my index finger to like control the camera. So that's why I always like know how to move. You can always like put your running button through your index finger and your thumb on the right analog for the camera, but I do it this way, which looks really weird, but it does actually work for me. But it is a little strange, I'm not gonna lie. Anyway, I can speak to him, cooperate. I saw you do this on yesterday's stream anyway, so this is just for like reference, but he'll tell you about some story in the lore stuff. But he's gonna move location soon anyway, whether or not you talk to him, but just so you know he's there. Where he is. I'm gonna pop this. I'm not really going to be showing you where a lot of hidden items are, to be honest, unless they're really like worth pointing out. But generally, yeah, they're all over, man. There's a lot of very well hidden items in this game. Like the staircase is a perfect example, really. You're gonna go down there and go up, but like if you actually go up these stairs, bam, there's something there. They're all over, dude. Like I'm really good at exploring these games. I just have like a good play for it because of my play style. Really, what I tend to do is I'll run through an area. I won't fight enemies, so I'll generally try to find the actual items rather than kill anything, and I'll just die. Because of that, I tend to find a lot of items. It's just the way I play, to be honest. And that's what I mean about the early game of Bloodborne, which is kind of different to the others. You use all your vials at this point, you're screwed. You know, you're just screwed. So what you're actually better off doing is keeping your blood vials. If you die in this world, if you die in the area, fuck it. Just don't use your blood vials, don't use your quicksilver bullets, because they're so valuable in early game. You'll just softlock yourself early, and rather than spend ages farming, it's honestly better to just start again. If you just get wrecked, because your blood vials in the early game are so worth having. And it's also worth actually getting the blood vials, like buying them early, because they'll be cheaper before you fight Cleric Beast, and they'll go up. And then after you fight Gascoigne, I think they go to full price or something. I might be able to show off killing Jura, because you already know, like, to speed drum, you have to go through the Dark Beast Paul route. You've seen that. But I kind of wanted to show off, like, shooting them off the roof. This might not work, to be honest, but I'm going to try. I might just kill him in a shot, to be honest. So I'm quite strong. But stand here, just going to boom, boom. I'm totally miss him. He's just going to throw mollies at me, and that didn't work. Okay, fine. Now I'm going to die. Good stuff. Exactly what I wanted to do. That was my plan. You have 95 points now. Get out of my office. Right, okay, let's try that shit again. These guys drop antidotes as well, which is really useful. Probably shouldn't go this way, but fuck it. Also, I should probably show you this route. I don't know if you went this route or not. Past these dickhead crows. Down here. Couple of items there. Nice chest. I think you might have done this, to be honest, but just in case you didn't. here. And there's some clothes there. I never bother fighting that hunter until Jura's dealt with as well. Because his game plan is to lure you back and then get, like, Gatling gunned by Jura. So it's kind of a trick encounter. I'm not going to go back up there because, you know, we'll respect him. But I am going to jump down here because this is a cool little route. This is, like, one of the hardest items to get in the game, honestly. So you can run up here, and what I'm going to try and do is totally miss, but if you make that jump, you have to try a couple of times. There's an item up there, which is something for the messengers, which is kind of cool. It's got ritual blood. Let's grab that. Yeah, dead end with the crows. Go down here. Got your little ladder for your shortcut. And then you go down this way. Not a big deal, because he's only dropping like small ones, but there's a little guy here. Alright, lads, calm down. So you don't Dark Beast Paul's down there, but you can't open it because you have to open it from the other side. I'd bait this one. I'm gonna move back. I don't really need to open this shortcut, but it is a mightily handy shortcut. You gotta go down this way. Again, this is stuff you already know. It's just stuff. I guess it's also just stuff that like anybody could kind of miss early on. Another little fellow down there. I'm gonna absolutely ravage Bloodstarved Beast as well. Oh. Never stood a chance. You found this item too, but there's antidotes behind here, which is a kind of fuck you if you didn't notice it at first, because it's quite well hidden. But antidotes are really valuable as well. It's another reason why the early game is such a problem, because farming for antidotes is such a nightmare. If you run out of them and Bloodstarved Beast hits you, you know, it's the problem. Right, okay, he's dead. I can go back to Cathedral Ward now. So there is a couple of things that I need to show you here, actually. I'm not going to go upwards because there's a door at the top. You won't be able to open that yet. You have to do... It's after ROM when you'll actually unlock that. But because we've beat Bloodstarved Beast, that door's open now. I'm going to bring this up. And then firstly, I'm just going to jump through this window once you're coming up. Easy to miss. I have to drop down here. Yep. Drop down. Chest. Item. And drop down again. I think it's a Carol rune, actually. Sometimes it's also worth checking if there's anything actually under the elevators, but in this case there isn't. But there is certain ones. There's like one in the DLC where there's like quite a lot going on with the elevator. There's like 2 floors to it, and it's weird. Anyway, that guy's a trap. Kill him before you open up the chest. You just see the chest, and a lot of people tend to run to it. Yep, you can go up there, but I'm not going to. We're gonna go down. I might not make this jump, but this is one of the most important things that you can miss out on. It's one of the most important areas. So you'll see there's like a little ledge down there. Now what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and run and jump for that like rope, because that rope is like parallel with it. I might fuck this up, not going to lie. Yep, totally fucked it up. So I will try that jump again. Gives me a chance to talk about the elevators as well, which I'm sure you know, but always worth like popping the elevators and the lifts and things like that in case you need to do it again and it just resets it. It means you don't have to like pull the lever, wait for 10-15 seconds, and there's certain bosses and stuff where you have to like hit a lift or an elevator every time, so it just saves time basically. I wonder if I could just roll that actually. I can, but I rolled it wrong. Okay. Always frustrating when you play Souls games and you get like knocked by something and then it just kind of takes you off path and you die. Demon Souls has one of these as well. I don't know if you've ever been in like Stonefang Tunnel, but there's 2 routes after you kill the big spider dude. And the right side is technically the shortcut, but I don't take it because I know the level quite well. And you also have to sacrifice health to go down there. But that one is like very, very difficult to get down without dying. Like I've played Demon Souls probably just as much as Bloodborne, if not a little less. But I've always I still fuck up on that, you know? Yeah, it's that stupid... It's like a piece sticking out, so I'm hitting that. It's knocking me out of it. I will surely get it. Eventually. Oh boy. Warm today, isn't it, fellas? Well, that's enough small talk. Anyway. If I don't make it this time, I'm just going to say, listen, that's the route and you want to go down there. And you're going to find some interesting items. If I fuck this up again, I'll just leave it because I can't be fucked doing this over and over again. Yep, there we go. Make sure you heal before you drop down again, because otherwise you'll die. I'd kind of advise you just skip this part because it's really cool. So maybe skip like 2 minutes ahead, because this is really cool. But if you don't care, there's some items that are worth explaining in this part. But this is cool. This is the abandoned old workshop, which is familiar, let's just say that, with a doll. So this is the area that the Hunter's Dream's actually based on. You'll get a couple items here. 3rd umbilical cord. Small hair ornament. Those are the only ones that are worth paying attention to. The third umbilical cord, that is an item that you just want to pop. You can use this. Pop it. It gives you 3 to 5 insight. I can't remember what it is. But for you to fight the final boss of this game, you need to have like certain things done. You need to find 3 third umbilical cords. That's one of them. Part of the reason you don't want to kill Yusefka as well, or the fake Yusefka as she's called, is because she has one of them, but you have to advance her plot line. If you kill her as the hunter form, she's quite a challenging fight, but she won't drop the third umbilical cord. It's fine because you can still get a total of 4 third umbilical cords. So you're not locked out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Well, you might be if you don't rescue a specific character. She also has one of them. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Yep, as I say, I don't remember if he did that or not, but there you go. And we've done Eileen as well. So... oh, I need to rescue the other 2. I think it's this way you want to go. There's 2 entrances. But I take this route. It's easier to get to. And I'm just going to pop downstairs. There's 2 here. There's 1 on the left. And we're going to send her to Odin's Chapel. So this guy will go the opposite location, you see. So this is why you wanted to have Yusefka's clinic, because if you say Yusefka's clinic, he's going to say, fuck off, I know you're lying. And then he's going to go to the direct opposite place. Anyway, that's that. You know what, I'll just pop back here. Use the, Hunter's Mark. That should be them done now. I'm going to come out of here. Trying to think if I've missed anything, but I don't think I have at this point. At least when it comes to NPCs. The little girl is dead. Everyone is saved outside of our 2 characters, so I probably want to show you Adele as well. I think she's called Adele, even though you have her, but just for reference, basically. So yeah, I need to go get snatched. Yep, so she's there now. I'm gonna like specifically show you something when we have Adele. Or Adela. This guy's around here. We're just gonna get hit a bit. He's gonna take a while to kill me because I've got like full health. This guy is annoying because he's just like, oh, I want some of that. And you're just like, fuck off, mate. I'm not trying to fight you. Die to this guy. It just does nothing for me. I'll just die. There we go. Huh, that's cool. I don't think I've ever seen that before. I don't think I've ever seen this animation before. I'm kind of tempted to fight Dark Beast Paul, actually, just to absolutely smash him. By the way, this is because like I've used a save editor and I've moved the world state back to the original state. So this is like I'm playing the game for the very first time, but I've got like a max level character. Like, I should probably show that off stat-wise. 99 and everything. My weapons are maxed out. My attire, I've got good runes on, so I don't take much damage. If you're wondering how long it takes to get the max level on this game, a long, long, long time. Months to potentially years of farming without certain specific strategies, but even then, it can take up to 9 hours and the run is not safe whatsoever. You need a lot of echoes to do this, so I cheated. I just got the cheat engine. So there she is. We know that she won't speak to me. Actually, she will speak to me because I think I'm a member of the church. So she might still speak to me here. Nah, she won't. Okay. Shit, I should have took Gascoigne's gear. That's fine. We've unlocked that. But I think I need to get out of here first, so I need to pop the lantern. Technically, I'm a member of the church, so it sucks that she won't speak to me because this is a church outfit, but it's all good. Don't think I really need to explore this area much. Notice a little guy with a cage on his head, though. Take note of this area as well. It's optional. Kind of. That's all I'll say. It's optional, kind of. Oh. Right, this gives me a chance to do something as well. We picked up a small hair ornament. You can hand that over to her. There's a piece of dialogue that I won't really spoil, but she'll give you a tear stone. A tear stone you can pop, and that is something for your weapon that you can use. I don't really recommend it though; it's not very good, but it is an interesting storyline piece. Anyway, I need Gascoigne's outfit, so I'm just gonna buy it as opposed to get it out of my chest. You can do this with Gascoigne's outfit, or the white, or the black garb, because Gascoigne is like a member of the clergy. His will work. Just gonna pop on all of his gear. And then I'm gonna pop back to Hypergen jail. These stones as well, like they seem quite random, but they're actually like tiers or levels in terms of like how messed up the world is. And that doesn't necessarily mean how difficult it is, but it gets closer and closer to a nightmare, let's say. I'm going the complete wrong way as well. But yeah, you'll notice that the gravestones in Hunter's Dream are a lot messed up. Like the last one's like split in half and it's got blood all over it. Just kind of symbolizing how messed up the area is in terms of the story. Let's say. Anyway, she'll talk to us now. If you get to a point where your insight is really large as well, you know, like I'm popping 93 now. If you get into the point where it's like 90, you do want to spend your insight. Like, some people like it quite low. As long as you have like 1 insight, you can always speak to the doll and level up. Then again, some people might want like 10 or 20 so they can kind of summon online component and whatnot, or any of the hunters that are in the default game that you can actually summon with the bell. But like if you're maxing out on your insight, you do want to be spending it, which just means you can go to the messenger bath. Anyway, that's that done. Don't need to really show off this area. I was going to fight Dark Beast Paul, but there's no point. You know how that goes. And you did really well in beating Dark Beast Paul anyway. It's really, really good win over him. Anyway. back to Cathedral Ward because there's something specific I need to show off her. I think we'll be close to wrapping up here. Really all we need to know. Okay, so she's over here now. We've got all of our people. This is everybody that we can actually save, bar one. But we're going to speak to her. She'll offer you her blood. She will also offer you her blood. Now, if you take one of their blood and you want to swap, you have to use it, which I think you took Adela's. So you just have to use it once, and then speak to her, and then receive blood treatment. And you don't have to use these. In fact, I would reckon that... Well, it depends. Depends on how much you want to, like... if you want to progress their stories, you can keep taking their blood. But I would just recommend holding her blood in your inventory and not using it. Same with this chick. She's not going to talk to you for a while. But eventually she will, and she'll give you an item. If you keep taking that item, and if you keep using it, it will advance her plot, her story. This guy just doesn't really... there's not much to him, to be honest. Anyway. I think we're going to, like, wrap up on Bergenworth. Because I need to speak a little bit about patches, which you already know anyway. And another NPC that you can talk to. The 3 paths up here, which, again, you know. There's your main. I'm just going to kill these guys because they're just going to fuck with me while I'm trying to explain this. And they do Frenzy, which is not good for my build. So yeah, your left goes towards Hemwick Charnel Lane, which you know, which also opens up to Canehurst. But that's a dead end. That's where you get your Carol runes, so you can put the items in the top right in your inventory. You've done that. Your far right, that is once you get the Tonsil Stone. That's where you get picked up by the Amygdala and transported to the Nightmare World. Pretty simple. But we're going to advance the plot here, so I'm going to go in here. I don't know if this is going to advance Eileen's plot as well. But we'll find out. I don't think it does. I don't think it's until the very next thing. Like, once you beat Rom, I think that opens up the next plot point. But anyway, let's smash Amelia, because I do way too much damage. And she's done. Gold pendant, that's another thing that you can open. For a little gem. I don't think that gem's very useful though. And hit the lamp. Now this is your first point where the world will... Well, it will start at gas coins, because if you'll notice in Yharnam the sky turns a different colour, or it might even be when you beat Cleric Beast. But this will advance the night even further, which I'm sure you know will mean it'll open up more things. But the actual sky will change. Like the time of day will change. We're advancing time. And that is one of the first major ones. Enemies will change. Some will go to sleep. Some will start appearing. Things like that. So yeah, now that's done, we're going to go to Bergenworth. That will probably be where I wrap up, because after this, I don't want to say the game gets linear, but like, or linear, but a lot of the, like, this is all of the storylines. Like, I'm not going to go too much into the DLC stuff. Cross that bridge when you come to it. But, yeah, Alfred should be down here now. Huh, he's not. That's odd. Wonder if I messed something up there. Maybe it's because I didn't speak to him about the Bergenworth Church and stuff. Not a big deal, though. You know he's here. There is a lot that you can miss in this area. Forbidden Woods is probably the area that I like the least. Just because I don't like maze-ish areas. I don't like ones where... I just don't like areas like this, dude. It's just simple as I could really put it. I find them confusing and just irritating more than anything. I wouldn't say it's a bad area necessarily. It's just a frustrating one. Anyway. Run down here. And run up here. I'll show you the shortcut, which I'm sure you've already found with Yusefka as well. The way you kind of want to do it. Patches should be there as well, right? Yeah, I'll give you the tonsil stone. So yes, he will replace certain houses at this point. He'll give you the tonsil stone so you can go to the Nightmare Frontier. And he will replace the prostitute's house. But as soon as you've done that, you will be able to go back to said house and she'll be there again. As soon as you pick up that tonsil stone and actually use it, Patches will then move, which restores the original house. Doesn't really make a lot of sense because she would have to leave the house and then come back, which doesn't make any sense either. So I guess it was just they wanted him to be in many houses as possible so people could find him at this part. Because, you know, like a lot of players probably would speak to the prostitute chick early and then go back later to rescue her, and then like Patches is there. So that's probably why they did it. But like lore-wise, doesn't really make a lot of sense. But that's fine. That's always the house that I pop them in. Here, so I'm going to open this. Gets us back to the beginning. And this is the back way through Yusefka's clinic. You don't want to fuck with these guys too much either, because if they grab you, they'll drain your insight, which is actually quite valuable. They're one of the most dangerous enemies in the game, and they can one-shot you as well, particularly quite early. So I tend not to mess with them, to be honest. I don't mess with anything in this game, like other than bosses. Not like Dark Souls in that way. You kind of want to avoid everything. So yeah, there should be a little blue fella in here. And if you haven't got it already, it will drop Yusefka's blood vial. In fact, it'll say unable to acquire because I already have it. That's a hint of who that is. You can open this, but it will shut again if you kill fake Yusefka. And there's your Cainhurst summon, so you can get the Cainhurst. Again, don't really need to go into Cainhurst because you're already there. I think you've done it. You know about the Crown of Illusions, which you'll need to equip to after you fight Martyr Ligarius to get the final weapon. But if you were to send people here that you came across, a lot of them would be around here. You'd find like more blue little fellas, and then they would drop the corresponding item for the characters. It's also worth at the very end of the run, depending on, you know, the way you want to deal with the NPCs. It's recommended to kill everybody because then you'll get the item before you start a new game cycle. But what I do with her, she's going to like talk and she's going to tell us to piss off, basically. We are going to piss off. We're not going to fight her. And then what you do once you beat Rom, is you come back here. You'll have to go through the shortcut route again. You won't be able to go up the stairs, I don't think. But something will happen. Let me just say that. And it's recommended to do that rather than fight her. Even though she does drop a rune that I don't think she drops unless you fight her. So there's actually two methods of doing that. Last thing to show you in this area, really. And I think that's everything kind of done with the story. And I'm just going to show you where the last guy is. Easy to miss this one. Very easy to miss. So I'm kind of in two minds whether to tell you about this one or not, but I think I probably will. What you need to do is just jump down here, because you'll have seen this archetype of this character before anyway. So you'll be well aware of this kind of character if you've played any Souls game pretty much. I'm pretty sure this kind of character is in every one of them. So yeah, in the back, you go through here. And there's a lovely little fella next to a bunch of dead bodies. I'm gonna talk to him. He's gonna be like, do you know of any safe havens? You can send him to safe havens, but depending on, like, looking at what's happening here, what do you think's going to happen? And this is a good point to close, actually, because you have options here. And that's all I'll say. Yeah, that should be everything with the story that you will have possibly missed. I don't really think there's anything else I need to explain. The next point where things are going to open up is Rom. So location-wise, before you get to Rom, you'll have Yharnam, you'll have Old Yharnam, you'll have like Central Yharnam, which is like Vicar Amelia's area. You'll have the Nightmare Frontier, which is right of the church. You'll have the left, which goes to Hemwick Charnel Lane, and then also goes to Canehurst. I think that's pretty much every area you can visit. You can't go to the Upper Cathedral until you've done the next area after Rom. There's Hypogean Jail as well, which I didn't mention, which is a small optional area, technically. And then there's your DLC, which you would be able to do now as you've beaten Vicar Amelia. You need to grab the Eye of a Blood-Drunk Hunter, which would be in the Hunter's Dream, and then that will open up. That's probably something I could mention as well. Where do you actually do that? So we're not going to say anything to him, and I'm not going to spoil what happens there. The last thing I'm going to show you is that where you would launch the DLC, which I love. The DLC is great, man. It's one of the best DLCs of any game. It's a phenomenal piece of content. It's almost mandatory if you're really into Bloodborne. Anyway, I'm going to quickly pop back. Voltaire is in there as well, but you've already met him. He's the guy with the iron helmet. He'll ask you to kill some vermin. Vermin will be in the DLC if you equip his rune, which is Impurity. And you want 3 vermin in total. After that, you feel free to kill Voltaire. He'll drop a sort of unique piece of armor, but not really, because it looks identical to the one you'll get if you give him Vermin. But it is actually a unique version of it, even though it looks exactly the same. It counts as a different item. Anyway, we're gonna go to. What was I gonna show you again? Oh yeah, the DLC area. I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to pop it because I don't want to spoil it for you. But I'm just going to show you the actual area it is where you would do it. And it will be a fitting place to end. You always want to come back and check on these as well once a major world event has happened. See what's going on with them. It's literally here. It's literally here. If you have the Eye of a Blooddrang Hunter, Big Armored Dollar will grab you. That didn't even have enough to kill me. That shows how strong I am. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Hope this helps, and I hope it didn't spoil too much for you. Peace.